recently? Okay.
Hi, Emily. I'm here because Nicholas, I don't think, is attending tonight.
Okay.
And a little backstory on the bananas is our guest speaker last week, you could watch his video on the website, was amazing and gave us all sorts of information about the future of bananas and some history too. So sorry to interrupt, but that's the basis of the banana situation. And I was fascinated.
Yeah, that's awesome. I actually was able to listen in last week. So I heard, and I'm amazed, I have bananas sitting on my counter that have brown spots, and now I look at them a little differently. So yeah, that's really funny. Okay. Yeah, but thanks for joining us, Heather. Okay. So I guess, and feel free, everybody, if you want to turn your camera on, you're more than welcome. Unmute. It's all good. I'm going to start sharing my screen. I just have a few slides I put together. Okay, can everybody see that?
I can see it.
Okay, thanks, Seth. Okay, so welcome to the October 4th meeting of the Virtual Science Club. You're in the Engineering and Math breakout room. And again, my name is Emily. I'll do a little intro again if I missed you for the first meeting. I know we did this already, but we can just maybe, I don't know if we want to go around the room and unmute and just, if you could tell us your name, your year in school, if you participated in VSC or SASEF before, and your favorite science class or topic, and as well as one fun fact. So if you were, and I can go first. So if you were in the Engineering and Math breakout room last time, you know my name is Emily. I'm a third-year PhD student in material science and engineering, which I'm happy to talk about if you're curious what that is. This is my first year in VSC, and I'm excited to be here. I love science, so I'm excited to talk about it with everybody. In middle and high school, my favorite subject was chemistry, but in grad school, I really have enjoyed my nuclear materials classes, which is what I study for research. And my fun fact, I just got back to Tennessee from an internship in New Mexico, actually. So if you can see, on the bottom right, this is one photo of New Mexico, and it was absolutely beautiful. And if you have an orange subject, you're more than welcome to share it. So with that, I'm wondering if we can maybe go around the room and just everybody can say, tell us your name and introduce yourself. So I guess I'll just go down the list of people. So Bethany, can you hear us or unmute yourself?
Yeah, okay.
Perfect.
So my name is Bethany Bryant. I am in 10th grade. I've not participated in either of those events before. My favorite class topic would probably be biology, more specifically genetics.
Okay, awesome.
And one fun fact, I think I forgot everything about myself. I'm in another science club. It's teaching our youth science, and we go to elementary schools to teach kids different science subjects.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's always fun to kind of share what you know about science already and get other people excited about it too. That's awesome. Well, welcome. Okay, so then I guess going down our list, the next one would be Jack. And I know we had Bethany and Jack last week, but we'll just go ahead and do it again, just for if someone wasn't here. So Jack, can you hear us?
Yes. Greetings. So my name is Jack Alexander. I am a sophomore. I believe I did this last year. My favorite science class topic or whatever, chemistry. And one fun fact, I'm from Alaska.
Oh,
Kind
wow.
of explains the Northern Lights here.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome, actually. Wow. Well, welcome. A little warmer than Alaska, thankfully, in some respects. So, yeah, awesome. We're glad.
I also have again, as last time, I didn't really have like an orange object except for this pen, but this time, there we go. If you take red and yellow, it makes orange. So screw you, it works.
That's awesome. Yeah. Wow. Have you been to Germany? Is that
I will next year in spring.
awesome? Yeah.
I'm learning German in school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sprichst du Deutsch?
Yeah. Ich nicht gut.
Yeah. Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, I took German in school and I studied abroad there, so it's a good language to learn, but I'm very biased. Awesome. Well, welcome. So then I guess Seth, would you like to go? Seth, can you hear us? Oh, there you go.
Yes. My name is Seth. My middle name is actually Alexander also. My year in school, 6th grade.
Nice.
No, I have not participated in either one of those. This is my first year, and my favorite science class is a class about ornithology, otherwise the study of birds.
Awesome. Yeah.
And one fun fact, I enjoy solving Rubik's Cubes. Also my orange object.
Oh, nice. Wow, wow, that's incredible. Do you have a favorite bird?
Golden finch.
Golden finch. Those are very cool. Yeah, something you can see too.
I have a birdhouse outside right now, actually, and a bluebird's coming into it. It's really exciting.
Oh, yeah, that's very cool. Those are such a fun color. Okay. Thank you, Seth. We're glad to have you here. Okay. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but is it Shashank?
You actually got it spot on.
Oh, really? Okay, perfect. I think you started to go last week, but we didn't hear the story. So yes, go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Shashank Lahoti. I am a freshman in high school. I have not participated in either of those, and I'm not sure what they are. My favorite science topic is magnetism and physics. I find those two very cool. And one fun fact. I'm from India, I guess. I guess that would work.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, probably maybe depending on where in India, maybe equally as hot or even hotter than Tennessee. But yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, well, we're glad to have you. All right. Heather, I don't know if you'll be a regular in our group every week, but would you wanna? You kind of already introduced yourself, so it's up to you, but.
I'm Heather. I work in pre-college programs. So we coordinate, plan, host multiple events. Science Olympiad, SACEF is a science and engineering fair. Governor School for high school. And sorry, I'm probably going a little slow now. The Tennessee Science and Humanities Symposium. We just call it the symposium because it's a mouthful. I am originally from Northern California. I have two daughters that attend UTK. One is an engineering student, mechanical, and one is going to be a elementary school teacher, and she's doing child and family studies. And we have family in the Bristol area, so we had multiple reasons to move here, and we live out in the country by cows. It's wonderful.
Yeah, wow, that sounds very idyllic. A UT family through and through. That's great.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Well, I think that's everyone. I'm glad everybody's here. This is my first time hosting this, so yeah, if anybody has any suggestions, anything that they want to talk about, please, you're more than welcome to chime in at any point. But with that, since we kind of got to know each other a little bit, let's see if I can advance the slide. So I thought just to transition in from introducing ourselves to kind of getting into more of the science fair topics, we could do a fun fact interlude. So does anybody know, has anybody seen this image before? And feel free to unmute. Yeah, it looks like Jack, you've seen this one before.
I haven't seen it before. I just know it's James Webb because it has like the 6 points coming off the stars.
Yes. Yeah. Very cool. Did you happen to follow the live broadcast when NASA was releasing these?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah. Where this summer it was a big deal in my office, so we all really followed this. But do you know anything else about James Webb? No, that's okay. Okay. Well, I guess I can just share the fun fact that.
Better than Hubble.
Yeah, better than Hubble. So this image comes from a space telescope. Oh, here's Nicholas. Okay. So this image comes from a space telescope called the James Webb Space Telescope. And this image was released on July 12th of this year, actually. So this was just sent into orbit, I believe, earlier this year, and then they just released the first images. So Webb is a huge engineering accomplishment, which is bringing it back to the engineering and math breakout room, because it measures 21.3 feet across, or 6.5 meters if you prefer the metric system. And the primary mirror consists of 18 hexagonal mirror segments, which you can see in the bottom right, of gold-plated beryllium. And I had to bring it back to the materials that it's made of, because beryllium is actually fairly toxic, but is also a good sensor material for the spectrum that James Webb collects. So it's pretty amazing. And this slice of the image on the left actually is approximately the size of a grain of sand held at arm's length by someone on the ground. So it's pretty incredible what this telescope is able to record. And the image shows, I don't know if you can see this bar on the bottom or if I can move it, but it's the SMACX S0723 galaxy cluster, which I'm not exactly sure what that means. I'm not the biggest space buff, but it's so far away, it's as it appeared 4.6 billion years ago. So it's such an incredible feat of engineering. And I would recommend, if you have time, you can look up the other images from James Webb, and they're pretty beautiful. So just a little engineering fun fact for you before we dive in. Okay. So now my question to you, if we could go around the room one more time, is have you started thinking about, A, if you're planning on participating in SACEF, and B, or two, have you started thinking about an actual science fair topic? And this could be an area of interest, a question you like to answer, or even if you have a specific topic already picked out, that's great too. So if we could go around the room. And we can start with, let's see, on the top of my list, Bethany.
Yeah, I've been interested in SACEF for I'm interested. I haven't signed up yet, but I've kind of been looking into genetic engineering and the specific ways to, I don't know, sorry. It's just genetic engineering is kind of vague, but I've been looking into that mostly, but I would still possibly switch if it doesn't work out, I guess.
No, I think that's awesome. I think there's definitely some potential there. I'm more of it on the inorganic side of things, but I had a roommate in college who was genetics, and she talked a lot about CRISPR and that kind of thing. So we can definitely try to connect you with some people, and we can even look at, I think later today we're going to go through some older science fair example projects, and we can definitely look up genetic engineering as a topic. But I think that's super interesting.
And then I should add to that, depending on what kind of things you're interested with genetic engineering, you might have crossover between this group and also the life sciences group. So we can always connect you with somebody over there too to help you out if there's something we don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. Also, hi Nicholas, how are you?
I'm sorry I'm late.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a little tricky to get in here today.
No, you're totally good. Okay, but that's awesome, Bethany. Yeah, I think I think that there could be a good potential topic from that. Okay, how about Jack? Have you thought about your?
No.
Are you
No.
interested in participating? Okay, just
Is there a question that's compelling that's been bugging you for a while? Do you sit down and like hear something on the news, or you read something, you're like, how the heck does that work? Anything like that bugging you recently?
Goodness, I hate thinking.
You don't have to answer right now, but if something comes up, that's always a good place to start. It's like, hey, wait a second, that's a weird thing.
Mhm.
So, science does not get done with eureka. Science gets done with that's weird.
Yeah. I know you said that your favorite science class right now is chemistry. Is there anything in the field of chemistry in any of your chemistry classes that you've learned about that you've been particularly interested in?
I mean, other than just like a weird thing on the chart, it's number of electrons. It uses like the alphabet. That's the only thing, really, to show like the orbital.
Yeah.
Not even my chemistry teacher knows the answer to that. So that's the only thing though.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
But it
It's a
doesn't go
fun
like
thing to
A,
dig
B, C. It starts at like K, but then it goes in alphabetical order from there. So K, L, M, N, O, P. It's the first half of the alphabet is just ignored. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Oh, you may have to grab a quantum mechanics book on spin orbitals.
Yeah. That's a gnarly one to get. I mean, it's very interesting, but
See.
yeah, it would be, I think, a quantum mechanics
See if I have it with me.
engineering or electron structure type thing. It is very interesting though. There's a lot to learn about, how electron behavior and how, if you add energy to a system, how electrons will react, and yeah.
Let's see if I can find it. It's in my basement. The QM book is in the basement.
That's fair. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, Jack. I mean, it would be an interesting topic for sure. I think that would be something we could help you out with if you would be interested in pursuing it further. So, throwing that out there. Okay. But then I guess we can keep going down the participant list. Seth, have you thought about participating in SASEF? Is there anything you're particularly interested in? Oh, Seth, are you there? Maybe stepped away for a minute. Oh.
Sorry, my headphones, the microphone does not work very well sometimes.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
I have not really thought about doing any of that. I haven't really been interested in that. I just want to come to the science club, really.
Okay. Let's see. If you were to, again, kind of like Jack, if you were just to kind of think about something that you might have a vague interest in. I know you said ornithology was interesting to you. I guess kind of looking at that from a science or engineering perspective, you could kind of go towards like planes or aeronautical engineering. Is there anything in that realm? You're interested in airborne things?
I don't really know. I will definitely look further into it though. I
Yeah.
will think about some other stuff.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, feel free to keep thinking, I guess. But yeah, if there's anything we can help you with, you'll just have to let us know. Okay. So then I guess that leaves us to Shashank. Do you have any thoughts about science, participating in science fair, anything you're interested in?
Yeah, I really do want to participate, but my school's not exactly like in those counties that you mentioned at the beginning. It's out of those counties. It's in Wilson County, so I'm sort of stuck. But if I do participate, I would like to do something over planes and how to make them fly faster, but at the same time be a bit more efficient. Because I know that most planes don't fly faster than like 800 miles per hour because of the fuel constraints, and for the reason that the cost would go up really high. So I feel like that would be a cool topic to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be definitely something to look into. Yeah.
I will try to find who handles a science fair in that county. And if I can find something, I will email you with whatever email you registered with. In the meantime, you're in 9th grade, so definitely could talk to your science teacher or a science teacher at your school and see if they know of one. But I'll try to research that and email you.
Yeah. That would be great. Yeah. But I think, I mean, in terms of plane efficiency, I mean, you could look up all kinds of things. Like, I mean, there's, I'm sure, a lot of engineering topics and, you know, research into jet fuel, into, you know, the aerodynamics of planes and how, you know, even different designs and everything. I think, yeah, there's a lot of good topics potentially there. Okay. So thank you all. And then again, I just wanted to point out that I put some of the deadlines for SASEF on the left. So I think your project pre-approval is the first deadline, which would be January 18th. And I think, Heather, how could you explain how teachers are involved in that? Like this
Sure.
science.
So to be able to sign up, your teacher needs to go onto the website and register the school and themselves as a teacher. You don't have to necessarily be working directly with that teacher on your project, but it's a good idea to keep them in the know. If you're a homeschool, that's fine. There's instructions on how to sign up as a homeschool, or, you know, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, you know, community organizations can also sign up. That's the first step. And then the student is able to attach themselves to that teacher and start their project account.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So I guess if you do want to pursue this further, it's good to get, I guess, a teacher involved, and you have until January 18th to make that decision. But I guess, yeah, there's a lot of good time to get working on your projects until then. So, okay. And I guess that pre-approval applies to only the projects with those limitations. So, but then the actual project registration deadline is February 28th. So even more time if you're not working with those things.
Yeah, if your project is on that list of items, there's also on the ISEF website, which we have a link called I think it's called the Wizard. They can answer some simple questions and find out if they need, one, what forms they will need, and two, if they need a pre-approval.
Okay, great. Okay, so we'll keep moving in this slide deck. So, I guess I was kind of thinking about, the first steps in designing a science fair project. I know we have kind of varying interests in participating in SASEF, but if you can all just kind of postulate in your head for a second, if you were planning on participating in SASEF, first, what do you all think? And I thought we could kind of go around the room again. What does make a good science fair project, or later down the line, a good research project, something to look into? What are some of those attributes that you would either make a good science project, or what actions would you start with, I guess? So I hate to keep picking on Bethany, so maybe we can go in reverse order this time. So Shashank, would you like to go first? What do you think about how you would design a science fair project? What are some of the things that you would do first?
I would probably start with trying to find a problem, and trying to figure out what the main topic I would want to say for my science fair project would be.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get a question out of it, trying to get like what I'm gonna try to solve.
Yeah.
And then brainstorming solutions, I would say. And then testing and experimenting each individual solution until I can get a good set of results.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think,
which then I will write down or combine into one good project.
mm-hmm. Yeah, what do you think is there any particular qualities of that question that you think are important? I guess maybe that's a tough
qualities. I would say qualities such as they're easy to test and they aren't really difficult to test. Like sometimes some tests take years or months just to get one done.
Mm-hmm.
I would want it to be fast, maybe a day or a month max per test. So
Yeah.
I could actually get a bunch of info, and if I don't like my results, I could maybe restart and try again.
Yeah, I think that's a really important consideration. You have to factor in, so if the project registration deadline is February 28th of next year, what can I do in that time realistically? I think you want to kind of look big enough where there's enough material to cover, but not so big that you're kind of swamped trying to finish it by that point. I think, yeah, that's a really practical consideration. Okay, so I guess going in order, then we'll go with Seth. Do you have any thoughts about how you would come up with a good science fair question, or what that question might include or look like?
So I think that Shashank kind of summed up what I would have said
Mm-hmm.
in the way of getting a problem and then trying to get solutions to it almost.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a tad bit different, but yeah, I think that I would just try to find a problem and then get the solution to it, and then mark down different solutions and see what is different about them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess, do you think that, I guess thinking about generating your question, what kind of places would you look to try to come up with a question? Or yeah, let's go with that. Do you have any thoughts?
I could probably look on Google for some sort of question if I had any sort of ideas, like do really different types of paper planes work differently?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that makes it a good science fair question, or something of that nature. Something definitely easy to, or relatively easy to check. You're within budget. That's, yeah. And looking on Google, honestly, I mean, we're in the 21st century. The internet's a big part of our lives. I think, yeah, it's definitely you don't want to go with your first search result, but maybe if you can, come up with a topic of interest, Google it and find a component that you can test. I think that's a great idea. All right, Jack, do you have any thoughts?
Not really.
Not really. Okay. I guess I've been asking some hard-hitting questions. So I'm wondering, what do you think, say, so you if you like chemistry, do you think, let's talk about independent versus dependent variables. Do you think, how would you kind of want to design your experiment from that perspective? Do you think you'd want a lot of things that you would be able to test, or keep a control? Like, I don't know, can you walk me through that process maybe a little bit? Are you familiar with those terms too?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
So it is nice to have lots of things to test, right? But it means that whenever you're testing it, you can't be as thorough because you have more stuff to test, right? So it is nice to have options, but obviously not, quadrillion amount of them.
Yeah.
Because then you're able to do more different kinds of testing. Like, okay, I've tested all of these in one way, but what if I want to test it another way?
Yeah, I think you bring up two really good points. Like, yeah, I mean, sometimes the original direction of your project isn't where it ends up, right? I mean, you can see something that interests you more and you can pursue that outlet. That's definitely a valid way to do it. I think the other thing that you're talking about is that you want a controlled environment, and then you want few dependent variables. So you want to be monitoring a consistent factor, whatever that may be, and altering your independent variables. So what you control and then observe, you want kind of a relationship that you can, tailor and then see what you see and then present that to an audience. So I think that's a good way to say that. Okay, and I know we're running out of time almost. I have one more slide that I want to get to. So Bethany, really quick, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I feel like after the first step being finding the question is to collect data and compare it back to your question, relate it to what you originally asked.
Yeah, I think, that is a really good point too. Yeah, you kind of want to keep that central focus in mind and actually accomplish the answer, or as close as you can get to an answer of your question. Sometimes, it's difficult to get a complete answer, and sometimes, a valid conclusion is we need more work, right? So yeah, I think that's also a good point. Okay, so I just came up with a few tips, which I think we've covered most of them already. So kind of like Seth said, Google, if you have an area of interest, do some cursory research. Find, some aspect of that topic that interests you particularly, or is within your time and budget constraints, like Shashank said, definitely. Make sure your question is testable, kind of what Jack said about, and also the next bullet, design your procedure to test one variable. That's the easiest way to kind of, make sure it's something that a trend that you can observe. So all those components, I think, we covered. And then on the left, we go back to our trusty scientific method. It's there for a reason. Kind of later in your career, you still follow it. So if you recognize it or not, or follow those steps as formally or not, it's, a tried and true method to kind of come to your results. So from observation to results. Okay, and then the other component, which we might end up doing a whole breakout session on, but using reliable resources, especially once you hit that point where you want to cite your sources on your science fair poster, use things like your school library. Your librarian probably has a wealth of knowledge and would help you be able to find an answer if you have a question, or at least direct you in the right way. Published books, government websites, I think these are things that we all kind of know from doing projects or lab reports in school, etc. And then let's see, learn how to communicate your results effectively. this is something that I think is a continuous learning process. So how you present your data, if you think, okay, this would be good as a bar graph, why? You know what I'm saying? Is this would be good, and then track your error, make sure that, you know, you're able to present to your audience. It's almost as important as your results. If you can't communicate your result effectively, your audience isn't going to be left knowing, you know, the impact that your project had, which is the most important thing. So that's another very important topic and another breakout session we might have down the road. Okay, and I know we're really running out of time. I think we only have 2 minutes left, but really quick, I just wanted to point out, if you're interested at all and wanted to see some previous projects, there are published lists of previous SASEF winners from both 2021 and 2022, as well as there's a national science fair called the Regeneron International Science and Engineering Fair, which there are some very advanced projects, and something that also might be of interest in your relevant field of study. So,
and SASEF is an affiliate of ISIF. So those
really?
ISIF, yeah. So in the senior division, we'll have a first play. We'll have, you know, a grand champion that will be an ISIF. We'll nominate them to go to ISIF, and then they'll also have a first alternate to go to ISIF. So the top prizes of SASIF is to go to ISIF and compete.
Okay, yeah.
And we've had some really cool, interesting projects that end up going to ISIF. And they had a blast. Last year, ISIF was in Atlanta, and they rented out the whole Atlanta aquarium. And the kids got to like go walk around, enjoy it by themselves, and had a lot of fun. So the last year's winners said they had a blast at ISIF. So it's a cool thing to get to go.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. And going to the Atlanta Aquarium would be nice to have it to yourself, for sure. Yeah, that is awesome. Okay, so I guess we have 44 seconds left. The countdown is a little really putting the pressure on. But I guess if you just were to kind of cursorily look at some of these project topics. So let's see, this is the senior division winners, and I believe it's broken up as high school age is the senior division, and then middle school is the junior division. Is that right? Okay. I mean, I think we could maybe next breakout session as well kind of go over some of these and maybe look a little bit further into what some of these projects are. But yeah, otherwise I'd encourage you.
Welcome back. Just wait for everyone to come back. No. Okay, so while we wait for others to join us, does anyone want to discuss something that happened in their breakout room? Have you maybe put in any idea on a project for SASEF yet?
I'll put a plug in for the physical sciences. We need to have more students in there. So there's some great projects to do in chemistry and physics. And we've got an excellent geologist who wants to work with you on projects. So if you didn't find exactly what you're looking for in the breakout room you're in, I highly recommend physical sciences.
We do have a student in the natural sciences room who's interested in water quality and could potentially benefit from coming to speak to the physical sciences mentor next month. Something to think about if you decide to stick with water quality, Ellie, you might want to pop into physical sciences.
We've got a board certified chemist right there.
Okay. Is everyone back?
I think everyone's back.
Okay, perfect.
We're gonna need to find out a way to who no offense ever, Ellie, but we're gonna need to find a way. My name's Ellie too, and we're gonna need to find a way to tell us apart. No offense, but I confused myself for you.
So Ellie Abbott is Ellie the first.
And Ellie Fulton is the one doing the water quality project.
Gotcha.
I figured you would know, Ellie, since you weren't talking about water quality.
Just taking an opportunity to not steal, but borrow a student, Ellie Fulton, water transmitting diseases to humans, just saying human sciences.
Look at you, Ellie. You've got all kinds of ideas now.
Water cleaning and purification methods, engineering, saying we're gonna just keep throwing these out there.
Water across the board is a good subject in general.
Water is the bane of my existence in my actual research. So.
Okay, any last comments before we move on to the incentive prize? Going once, twice? All right. Okay, so while you guys were in your breakout rooms, I did go ahead and pick a winner. Can you guys, I am tired today, guys. I'm so sorry. All right, and it is a longtime participant, Miss Zoe. Yay! All right. The prizes are on the left side of the screen. If you may, please go ahead and pick one of those prizes and then send an email to prep@utk.edu. Let me know a good name and address to send the project to, and also obviously, which project you want. So congratulations, Zoe. Zoe, do you mind, have you actually ever previously before this meeting gotten an incentive award from us?
Yes, I did. Last year, I think it was last year, I got a hydraulic arm built engineering kit.
And
it was a kit and I built it.
Wow.
That was last year. That was year before last.
Really? Okay. Well, I still have it in my closet either way, so.
Do you which one piques your interest on these prizes?
For me, the drone looks really cool. The drone looks really cool. Yeah.
Popular choice. Okay, go ahead and send an email to prep@utk.edu for the name and address. So Ms. Jennifer can send that off to you, okay?
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thanks for coming. All right. As per usual, we do have multiple platforms for not only SASIF, but prep in general. We have the newsletter, the Twitter account, Instagram account, and Facebook. So you guys can peruse on that and see what's updating, what's the latest updates with prep. And then of course the last thing is next week we're going to have another guest speaker to close out October, and that is the 25th. You can go ahead and start registering yourself for that. Well, other than that, that's all I have for today's meeting. Anyone have any closing comments, mentors? SASEF members? Kim looks like she's about to say something.
Debbie, I'm always talking. Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for coming. It's really nice to see all the students interested in doing projects.
Great. We hope to see some of you at the SASEF fair, and of course, you know, see if you can figure out other ways you can test water or other elements, and you know, maybe not even skip around to different mentors and, you know, see what their breakout rooms are like. Get a full experience of the virtual science fair, and anything you need from us, please let us know. prep@utk.edu if you have any questions, and we can definitely relay any questions you have to any other members, and then, you know, be the middleman. So, all right, everyone, stay warm and have a good night. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a great night.
Bye.